A very good morning, and thanks for tuning in to the Breakfast News, your one-stop morning show for top stories from India and across the world. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor, and here are the headlines. Western Odisha's Jharsuguda to debut on aviation map of India. Prime Minister Modi to inaugurate a newly built airport today. Prime Minister to also inaugurate development projects in the state, including NTPC's first coal mine, to lay foundation stone for national highway projects in Chhattisgarh. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu urges doctors to be part of unprecedented opportunity to serve with a sharp focus on cleanliness and affordable healthcare. Ahead of launch of Centre's ambitious Ayushman Bharat healthcare scheme, asks doctors to serve in rural areas. French government says it is in no manner involved in choice of Indian industrial partners for the Rafale fighter jet deal, rebuts a claim by former President François Hollande. Asserts French companies have full freedom to select Indian firms for contract. The Dassault Aviation states it chose its partner in accordance with Make in India policy. Job addition soared to 11-month high of 9.51 lakh in July. EPFO's payroll data says the new enrollments up to 61.81 lakh since September 2017. Maximum addition recorded in the age bracket of 18 to 21 years. And India beat Bangladesh by 7 wickets in the Super 4 clash at the Asia Cup. Pakistan beat Afghanistan by 3 wickets to win their match. Men in blue to now play Pakistan in the second Super 4 match tomorrow. Our top story this morning, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in Odisha and Chhattisgarh today, where he will launch several developmental projects. In Odisha, Prime Minister Modi will inaugurate a newly built airport in Jharsuguda. The airport will bring Western Odisha on the aviation map of India and facilitate regional air connectivity through the Udan scheme. The Prime Minister will also unveil a plaque to mark the commencement of work for the revival of Talcher fertilizer plant in Odisha. Now, this is the first plant in India to have a coal gasification-based fertilizer unit. In addition to fertilizer, the plant will also produce natural gas, which will contribute to the country's energy requirements. The Prime Minister will also dedicate the Garjan Behel coal mines and the Jharsuguda Barapali Sardega rail link to the nation. He will also unveil a plaque to mark the commencement of coal production and transportation from Dulanga coal mines of the NTPC in Sundargarh. Now, this is the second mine of the NTPC to be operational, and it's a first in Odisha. And in Chhattisgarh, Prime Minister Modi will lay the foundation stone for national highway projects and the Pendra-Anupur 3rd railway line. He will also address a Kisan Sammelan in the Janjgir Champa district. On to some other news now. Fitch Ratings has upped India's growth forecast for the current fiscal to 7.8% from the earlier 7.4%. In its global economic outlook, Fitch said that it revised India's growth ratings on the back of better than expected second quarter outrun. The upward revision comes in the backdrop of the GDP expanding 8.2% in the April to June quarter, which is higher than Fitch's expectation of 7.7%. The global rating agency said that fiscal policy should remain quite supportive of growth in the run-up to the 2019 general elections. However, growth forecasts for 2019-20 and 2020-21 fiscals have been cut by 0.2 percentage points to 7.3%. Now, Fitch also flagged tightening of financial conditions, a rising oil bill and weak bank balance sheets as headwinds to growth. Fitch also cut China's growth projection for 2019 by 0.2 percentage points to 6.1%. And the global growth is estimated at 3.3% for 2018 and 3.1% for 2019. And the RBI has said that India's foreign exchange reserves rose by $1.207 billion to $400.48 billion in the week to September 14 on account of increase in foreign currency assets. In the previous week, forex reserves had declined by $819.5 million to $399.28 billion. And as per RBI data, in the reporting week, foreign currency assets, a major component of the overall reserves, increased by $1.055 billion to $376.15 billion. And expressed in the US dollar terms, foreign currency assets include the effect of appreciation or the depreciation of the non-US currencies such as the euro, pound and yen held in reserves. Forex reserves had touched a record high of $426.02 billion in the week to April 13, 2018, but have been declining since then. On to the other top story. The payroll data released by the Employees Provident Fund organization has showed that in the month of July, new job creation rose to an 11-month high of 9.51 lakh. Now, with the new figures, the total number of jobs created rose to 61.81 lakh since September 2017. The data showed that job addition numbers, which are based on the new members enrolled in various social security schemes of the EPFO, such as pension, PF and insurance, were 9.51 lakh in July, which is the highest in any month since September 2017. The payroll data showed that in total, as many as 61.8 lakh jobs were created during September 2017 to July 2018 period. Amid concerns over jobless growth and lack of comprehensive data on jobs, the government started releasing data on job creations in the formal sector since September 2017. Any company employing more than 20 people gets covered by the EPFO. And India has called off the meeting between External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj and her Pakistani counterpart Shah Mahmood Qureshi in New York. The meeting was cancelled following the brutal killings of 3 policemen in Jammu and Kashmir, and a day after Islamabad released postage stamps glorifying Hizbul terrorist Burhan Wani. MEA spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that the incidents have exposed Islamabad's evil agenda behind the proposal for talks and shown Imran Khan's true intention to the world. India, remember, had on Thursday accepted Pakistan's proposal for talks between the foreign ministers on the sidelines of the ongoing annual United Nations General Assembly session in New York. And reacting to India's decision, Pakistan Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi alleged that there is a group in New Delhi that does not want talks to happen.
कल हमने घोषणा की थी कि भारत और पाकिस्तान के विदेश मंत्री न्यूयॉर्क में मुलाकात करेंगे। उसके बाद 2 गंभीर घटनाएं हुई। हमारे सुरक्षा कर्मियों की पाकिस्तान में बसे एंटिटीज ने बर्बरतापूर्वक हत्या की और पाकिस्तान ने आतंकवाद और आतंकवादी के सम्मान में उनको ग्लोरीफाई करने के लिए 20 डाक टिकट जारी किए। इससे जाहिर होता है कि पाकिस्तान नहीं सुधरेगा। विदेश मंत्री स्तर पर पाकिस्तान से मुलाकात का निर्णय हमने पाकिस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री और उनके विदेश मंत्री के खतों में जो भावना थी उसके तहत लिया था। पाकिस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री ने अपनी चिट्ठी में यह कहा था कि वो पॉजिटिव चेंज के पक्ष में हैं, वो शांति के पक्ष में हैं। उन्होंने आतंकवाद पर भी चर्चा की बात की थी। लेकिन अब ये लग रहा है कि पाकिस्तान के नए शुरुआत के पीछे उनके वार्ता के प्रस्ताव के पीछे उनके नापाक इरादे हैं, जिसका खुलासा हो चुका है। पाकिस्तान के नए प्रधानमंत्री इमरान खान का असली चेहरा सामने आ गया है, वो भी उनके कार्यकाल के शुरुआती दौर में ही। ऐसे माहौल में पाकिस्तान से बात करने का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है, बिल्कुल अर्थहीन है। इस बदले हुए परिस्थिति में भारत और पाकिस्तान के विदेश मंत्रियों के बीच न्यूयॉर्क में कोई मुलाकात नहीं होगी।
Well, the talks were cancelled after the 3 abducted special police officers were killed by terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir's Shopian district. Now, the district is on high alert after the incident, and security forces suspect a Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist to be behind the killings. Here is a detailed report.
In a shocking incident, terrorists shot dead 3 special police officers in Shopian district on Friday. All 3 were found with multiple bullet injuries hours after they were abducted.
This is an act of desperation on the part of militant outfits. पुलिस में जो लोग काम करते हैं, ये पब्लिकली आवाम के लिए ड्यूटी करते हैं, ये कोई इस तरह का काम नहीं कर रहे जो किसी को नुकसान पहुंचाने के लिए काम होता है। और मुझे लगता है कि ये निंदनीय है, कंडेमनेबल है, हमने इसको कंडेम किया है। और इसके साथ जो बाकी र्यूमर वगैरह जो चल रहे हैं, तो हम ये बताना चाहते हैं कि इस तरह के र्यूमर से जो लोगों को बाज आना चाहिए, र्यूमर्स की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है।
Terrorists abducted 4 people, including 3 special police officers from 2 villages of Kapran and Batagun in South Kashmir's Shopian district. 1 person was set free by the terrorists. The slain policemen were identified as Constable Nisar Ahmed and 2 special police officers, Firdaus Ahmed and Kulwant Singh.
I severely condemn it. It's barbaric, it's inhuman. Pakistan is habitual of doing it. No, they are not resigning. This is false. Those SPOs who are resigning, they are those who has crossed the limit to go to the police, so they have not gone, that's all.
Later in the day, the Home Ministry refuted reports that 6 policemen had announced their resignation. The government said mischievous elements were behind this false propaganda. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Security forces in Jammu and Kashmir killed 5 Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists in an encounter on Friday. The shootout took place at Sumlar area in North Kashmir's Bandipora district. The police said that 5 terrorists had crossed a line of control recently and were on their way to the other parts of the valley. Meanwhile, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj will leave for New York today to attend the ongoing 73rd session of the United Nations General Assembly. Sushma Swaraj is slated to address the annual high-level United Nations General Assembly session on 29th of September. She had addressed the general debate last year as well. The general debate will open on 25th of September and run through 1st of October. US President Donald Trump will address the high-level session on the morning of 25th of September. The US is traditionally the second speaker on the opening day of the general debate after Brazil. And earlier on Friday, India had called off the meeting between Sushma Swaraj and her Pakistani counterpart Shah Mahmood Qureshi in New York, citing the brutal killing of 3 policemen in Jammu and Kashmir, as well as the release of postal stamps glorifying Burhan Wani. The Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that talks with Pakistan in such an environment would be meaningless. India can now stop procuring anti-nuclear medical kit from the United States and Russia. Scientists from the Indian Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences have developed the first indigenous anti-nuclear kit. Well, it took more than 20 years to develop a nuclear kit that is sometimes crucial in saving the lives of security personnel. Panchanan Mishra brings us this report.
Scientists at the Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences, or INMAS, have developed what may be India's first indigenous anti-nuclear medical kit. It ensures faster healing and protection from serious injuries from nuclear warfare or radioactive leakage.
एक जो नया खतरा पूरे ग्लोबल लेवल पे मंडरा रहा है, उसको हम CBRN खतरा बोलते हैं कि नए तरह के जो वॉरफेयर हैं, ये हो सकता है तोपों और गोलियों से ना लड़े जाएं। ये केमिकल वॉरफेयर हो, ये न्यूक्लियर वॉरफेयर हो, ये बायोलॉजिकल वॉरफेयर हो, ये रेडियोलॉजिकल डर्टी बॉम्ब जिसको हम कहते हैं, ये 4 तरह के ख़तरे हैं जिसको हम CBRN का नाम देते हैं। तो ये जो किट है, इसमें इन चारों चीज़ों के लिए एक सम्मिलित किट बनाया गया है, क्योंकि उस टाइम अगर सारी दवाइयाँ अलग अलग होंगी, उनको इकट्ठा करना मुश्किल हो जाएगा।
The kit includes over 25 items, including radio protectors that provides 80 to 90% protection from radiation and nerve gas agents. It also has bandages to absorb radiation besides tablets and ointments. According to INMAS, the kit was developed for the armed paramilitary and police forces, as they are the only ones to get exposed during nuclear, chemical and biomedical warfare or a rescue operation after a nuclear accident. Different paramilitary forces are processing memoranda of understanding with the Institute for Seamless Procurement of the product.
इसमें रेडियो प्रोटेक्टर ड्रग्स हैं जो रेडिएशन के दुष्प्रभावों से हमें बचाती हैं। इसमें प्रोफाइलेक्सिस भी है कि आप एक्सपोजर रेडिएशन एक्सपोजर के पहले भी ले सकते हैं और बाद में भी ले सकते हैं एज ए मिटिगेशन ड्रग्स। डिकॉर्पोरेशन एजेंट्स ऐसी दवाइयां हैं जो किसी भी रेडियो एक्टिव मटीरियल के शरीर के अंदर प्रवेश कर जाए या कम प्रवेश करे, ऐसी स्थिति के लिए हमने दवाइयां बनाई हैं जो प्रोफाइलेक्सिस और ट्रीटमेंट दोनों के तौर पे दी जाएंगी।
जो डेवलप्ड नेशंस हैं उनके किट में करीब 8-10 इस तरह की दवाइयां हैं जो हमें इंपोर्ट करनी पड़ रही हैं। उसमें प्रोशन ब्लू है, उसमें अमीफॉस्टिन है और ऐसी कई और दवाइयां हैं, इंजेक्शन EDTA है। जब हम इसको यहाँ पे इंडिजिनाइज करके बनाते हैं तो आप मान के चलें कि जो 1 रुपये की दवाई है वो 10 पैसे में पड़ रही है, तो उतने ही पैसों में हम 10 गुना ज़्यादा स्टॉक पाइल बना के उतने ज़्यादा लोगों को बचा सकते हैं।
The kit was developed after 2 decades of work by INMAS scientists and researchers. It has obtained patents of over 15 new drugs. The medical kit is a potent alternative to similar kits that were till now procured from advanced nations such as the US and Russia. Panchanan Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
In Breakfast News, we'll take a very short break here. We'll be right back with more news.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, the French government has said that it was in no manner involved in the choice of Indian industrial partners for the Rafale fighter jet deal. It asserted that French companies have the full freedom to select Indian firms for the contract. It said that the intergovernmental agreement that was signed on 23rd of September 2016 between the French and Indian governments for supplying India with the 36 Rafale aircraft concerns the obligations of the French government solely with regard to ensuring the delivery and the quality of this equipment. It stated that in accordance with India's acquisition procedure, French companies have the full freedom to choose the Indian partner companies that they consider to be the most relevant. Dassault Aviation has also said that it has decided to make a partnership with Reliance Defence in accordance with the policy of Make in India. The statements by the French government and Dassault came after a statement by former French President François Hollande on the deal. On to some other news now. The government on Friday said that it has struck off around 55,000 shell companies in the second phase of its efforts to curb illicit fund flows. The Corporate Affairs Ministry is also scrutinizing some of the companies to whom notices have been issued in the second phase. The ministry has already struck off over 2.2 lakh firms for non-filing of financial statements or annual returns for a continuous period of 2 years or more as part of the first phase of the drive. MOS for Corporate Affairs, PP Chaudhary, has asserted that the government does not want the corporate structure to be misused by way of money laundering, drug funding or any illegal activities. The government had earlier in June said that it has identified several shell companies and they may be struck off during the ongoing fiscal year. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has asked students to continue and enrich the spirit of scientific thinking. Addressing students at the 19th convocation of National Board of Examinations in Delhi, the Vice President said that students must continue the great scientific and medical traditions initiated by luminaries such as Charaka and Sushruta. For this, he added that it is crucial for students to develop critical thinking and expand their knowledge. Nearly 20,000 students received their postgraduate medical degrees at the convocation. 306 gold medalists were also present at the function.
The knowledge, the skill, the competence that have acquired certainly a long way in easing and alleviating the pain and suffering of a vast number of people and bring them good health and joy. At the same time, it is also a day of introspection for all of you as you chalk out your future plans. Remember that education is a lifelong learning process. The quest for acquiring new knowledge and skills has no boundaries or limits. It's a lifelong exercise.
The Vice President also called on professionals to make India a trusted healthcare destination and asked the doctors across the country to lend a healing touch to the suffering humanity. He also urged the doctors to serve in rural areas for compulsory fixed time ahead of the launch of government's ambitious Ayushman Bharat healthcare scheme.
At present, most part of the rural India has limited access to specialist health care. And this crisis partly stems from reluctance of our doctors to go and work in rural centers. The time has come for you to change this situation and consider serving this unserved population.
The inaugural General Assembly of the International Solar Alliance, or the ISA, will take place on 2nd of October in New Delhi. External Affairs Ministry in a release on Friday said that the ministerial level assembly will be held in Greater Noida the following day. Remember, this ISA is a major initiative of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in contributing to the implementation of the Paris Climate Agreement through the rapid and massive deployment of solar energy. The founding conference of the ISA was jointly hosted by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron in New Delhi in March 2018. The ISA, formation of which was initiated by India and France, aims to bring all countries together for cooperation on solar energy. The World Bank has endorsed an ambitious 5-year framework for India, under which it is expected to commit $25 to $30 billion in financial support for India's transition from a low middle income to a high middle income country. The country partnership framework for India is aimed at supporting India's transition to a higher middle income country by addressing some of its key development priorities: resource efficient and inclusive growth, job creation, and building its human capital. It is expected to bring between $25 to $30 billion in financial support for India from the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development and the International Finance Corporation and the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. Now, according to the World Bank, with a fast-growing economy, global stature, and its unique experience of lifting the highest number of poor out of poverty in the past decades, India is well positioned to become a high middle-income country by 2030. The United States has said that India is among the only 14 countries to have made significant advancements to eliminate the worst forms of child labor in 2017. The U.S. Department of Labor gave its statement in its annual Child Labor and Forced Labor report. It said that findings on the worst forms of child labor is the most comprehensive research on the state of child labor worldwide. The report added that this year it used more stringent criteria to assess the efforts of 132 countries and territories to address child labor. It added that only 14 countries, including India, met the new criteria for significant advancement. The Department of Labor also said that the Indian government ratified both ILO Convention 182 and Convention 138 and amended the Child Labor Act to prohibit children under the age of 18 years from working in hazardous occupations and processes. Let's get to all the international news now. The death toll from the capsizing of a Tanzanian ferry on Lake Victoria has now climbed to at least 136. Officials say that the death toll could rise further as the second day of searching came to an end. By Friday evening, dozens of survivors and 136 bodies had been pulled out from the water, and identification of the victims was underway after the ferry sank on Thursday near Ukerewe Island on Africa's largest lake. Meanwhile, the president of Tanzania has announced 4 days of national mourning and has urged calm. Now, calling it a great disaster, he ordered the arrest of all responsible as a criminal investigation began. The ferry's capacity was 100 people, but it had been overloaded with more than 300 people on board when it capsized on Thursday afternoon. All the sporting action now. India defeated Bangladesh by 7 wickets in their Super 4 clash at the Dubai International Stadium yesterday, chasing a target of 174 runs. Indian skipper Rohit Sharma played an unbeaten knock of 83 runs to steer the men in blue to victory in just 36.2 overs. Now, this was his second consecutive 50-plus score for the tournament. While opener Shikhar Dhawan scored 40 runs, Sharma and Dhawan together scored 61 runs for the first wicket. And earlier, batting first, Bangladesh were bundled out for just 173 runs in 49.1 overs. Mahindi Hassan was the top scorer from the Bangladeshi side with his knock of 42. For India, Ravindra Jadeja broke the backbone of Bangladeshi batting by picking up 4 wickets as he made his comeback in the ODI squad after July 2017. While Indian pacers Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Jasprit Bumrah picked up 3 wickets each. And in the other Super 4 match, Pakistan defeated Afghanistan by 3 wickets, chasing a target of 258 runs. Pakistan clinched to victory with 3 balls to spare. Shoaib Malik played an unbeaten knock of 51 runs to steer the Pakistani side to victory, while opener Imamun Haq scored 80 runs. Earlier, batting first, Afghanistan scored 257 runs in their allotted 50 overs for the loss of 6 wickets. Hashamatullah Shahidi played an unbeaten knock of 97 runs for Afghanistan. And India will face again Pakistan now in their second Super 4 match, while Afghanistan will face Bangladesh on 23rd of September. And speaking about women's cricket, well, Indian women team will take on Sri Lanka in the third T20 match of the 5-match series at Colombo Cricket Club ground. The Indian side is leading the series 1-0 with 3 more matches to be played. Earlier on Friday, the second T20 was washed out due to heavy rain. India reduced Sri Lanka to 49 for 3 in 7.4 overs of the play before the game was stopped due to heavy rains. Remember, India had already won the first T20 by 13 runs. And India's campaign ended at the China Open badminton tournament after ace shuttler PV Sindhu and Kidambi Srikanth crashed out of the tournament. Third-seeded PV Sindhu lost her women's singles quarter-final match against world number 6 Chen Yufei of China in a 52 minutes long match. PV Sindhu lost her match 11-21, 21-11, 15-21 to her Chinese opponent. And earlier, Srikanth also lost his men's singles quarter-final match to reigning world champion Kento Momota of Japan. Srikanth lost his match 9-11, 11-21 to his Japanese rival. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching. Have a great day ahead.